Nick thinks he's cool because he's been a master chef and cooked for Gordon Ramsay. I mean, I definitely wouldn't cook this for Gordon Ramsay, but I think I'm a pretty decent home chef. This is a potato chowder, but I add a bunch of random extra stuff to it. So it starts off with a bunch of vegetables, and you're gonna wanna cook those in a pan until they get all tender, and then I add some herbs and some garlic, and then once that's cooked, add some flour. Then I add some cream, milk, and chicken stock. While that's cooking a little bit, we're gonna cut up our potatoes. Then we're gonna boil our potatoes in that for a little while. I had some leftover frozen broccoli crumbs, so I threw that in there too. Now we're gonna cut up our chicken that I air fried and then throw that in the soup as well. I took a couple cooking classes way back in high school, but usually I would just end up teaching the class with the teachers because I watched so much Food Network as a kid. I don't know, Nick, you tell me.
Okay, Chef Dylan.
This is one of the most expensive steaks on the planet.
A5 Wagyu.
$200 to $400 per steak. Slice that 1 inch by 1 inch pieces. Season with salt.
On all sides. Heat medium high. No oil. Add in your meat. Let that sear for about a minute. Flip.
30 seconds.
All sides. Take it out. Shish. Slice at a diagonal. The finest beef in the world.
I wish for everyone to experience this. Oh. Not a paid sponsorship, but I did get it from Regalis.
Trust me when I say this is how you make a high-level steak. What better way to celebrate 1 million followers by showing you how I cook the best filet mignon ever? Now let's go! Temper 30 minutes and lightly cover in oil. Rosemary salt! If you know, you know. Sergeant Gilbert reporting for duty. Finely ground. Now roll the edge. Bring your pan up to medium-high heat. Little avocado oil and sear. Flip after about a minute. Stick with me. By the end of this video, you're gonna understand the technique. Now rest 2 minutes. Drop the heat of the pan to low and add 5 tablespoons of butter. When the butter's starting to foam, put the steak back. Constantly baste. Every 30 seconds, turn the meat. Keep basting. When it hits about 90 internal, rest 5 minutes. Drop some crushed garlic in your butter. Heat back on, steak back in, and continue to baste. Drop in some thyme. When it hits 125 internal, blast the heat and baste for 1 minute. Now, one final 6-minute rest. Before we do the reveal, if you're getting value from this, please remember to like the post. And if you want to become a god in the kitchen, just hit that follow button. Woo! Oh my lord. You know I love you, and I'm out.
Hey, here's how I make a steak. Flaky salt. Some flaky salt.
Okay, look, I got Pizza the Hut before. I'll do it again.
1 cup of water. 1.5 teaspoons of NC East.
A little mixy.
Sit for 5 minutes. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 2 teaspoons of sugar. 1.25 teaspoon of fine sea salt.
Whiskey business. Add your yeasty water and mix. Take it a rough dough. Put to a work surface. Keep kneading
Until nice and smooth.
Medium bowl. A little drizzle of olive oil. Shape your dough into a ball, into your bowl. Plastic wrap, lightly oiled. Cover.
Rise at room temperature 1 to 2 hours. Italian tomatoes.
Tomato. 2 cloves of garlic. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Salt to taste. Pinch of sugar. Blend.
Until nice and smooth.
Pizza stone. Into the oven. 500 Fahrenheit. 45 minutes. Baking sheet. Dust generously with flour. Flour. Dump out your dough. Divide. 2 even pieces. And shape into a ball. Onto your sheet. Cover and rest. 30 minutes. Pizza peel with flour. Pizza dough. Flour on the top. Punch around the perimeter. Over the knuckles. Turn, stretch, turn, stretch. Little pizza sauce. Spread it out. Cheese. Pepperoni. Into the oven on the 5 minutes. Broil 2 minutes.
Garlic oil on the crusty.
Ooh-wee.
McDonald's McNuggets. Start with that chicken breast. Go ahead and cut it up into little cubes, and we're gonna blend it in batches, and we're gonna pulse it. You could use a grinder if you have one, but I don't have one. I'm guessing a lot of you don't have one. You could use a blender, works just as good. Season the meat with a bunch of salt and pepper, and then the key to shaping your nuggets is to keep your hands wet so it doesn't stick to you. So you feel me? We made a few McDonald's shapes, and we went off with some dinosaurs, made a country, and look at that. I don't know what that is. Throw it into the freezer for like 2 hours. For the dry mix, we're gonna go flour, cornstarch, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Mix it up. For the wet batter, we're gonna go eggs, half a cup of water, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and whip that up. Then once your nuggets are hard, we're gonna go dry, wet, and then leave on there. And then once you do that, you're gonna heat up some oil. Once it bubbles around the stick, the wood, the chopstick, Throw them into the oil. Make sure they don't stick to each other. Fry them for about 2 minutes each side. Take them out, and you got chicken McNuggets. Yes,
You think you know what a glizzy is? Wrong. I'll show you what a real glizzy is. Pork. Strips. Bowl.
Meat.
Spices.
Salt. Black truffle.
The whole darn thing. Mix. Grind.
A baking sheet.
And into the oven. To get out of the oven. For glizzy. This is a glizzy. Don't at me. Oh, it's really hot. It's good though.
What's a glizzy?
Do you like Big Macs? Me too. Let me put you onto something. Preheat your oven to 375. Cook 1.5 pounds of ground beef. To taste, add your Worcestershire, garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper. Strain it and let it cool. While your beef is cooling, in a bowl, mix together 1.5 cups of mayo, 3 tablespoons of sweet pickle relish, 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard, 3 teaspoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon onion powder, and a splash of pickle juice. Mix it together, and there's your Big Mac sauce. You already know what time it is, bitch. 2 cans of pizza crust on a large baking sheet. Top the dough with 3/4 of your Big Mac sauce. Beef, bag of cheese, 18 minutes. Bag of shredded lettuce, pickles, onions, and the rest of your sauce. Big Mac pizza!
Hash browns are for wimps. You can do better. We're making a potato galette. It's French. Peel 1 large potato. Cheesecloth. Grate. Twist and wring. Wring out the excess moisture. Heat 8-inch skillet, medium-low heat. Add 2 to 3 tablespoons canola oil, peanut oil, or leftover bacon fat. Add half of the potato. Freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano. Remaining potato on top. Salt. Cook 5 to 6 minutes until golden on the bottom. Turn up the heat to medium to make sure it's nice and golden. 1 to 2 minutes. See how it's nicely golden around the edges? It's time to flip. Flip. Add a little more oil so it doesn't burn. Cook medium-low heat 5 to 6 more minutes. Salt, pepper, parsley, Parmigiano Reggiano, dill. Oh yeah.
Start with that chicken thigh, pat it dry. Get them all in a bowl. Season them all with Tabasco, cayenne, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Mix it up until it looks just like that. 2 cups of flour, cayenne, paprika, cornstarch, salt, and pepper. Mix it up. That's the flour mix. 2 eggs, buttermilk. You're gonna want to mix that up. Pour that over the chicken. Mix up the chicken, get it in there, and let it sit. Then coat the chicken very well in the flour. Spicy mayonnaise, paprika, cayenne, Tabasco. Simple. Mix. Oil in. Check that it's hot enough. Has to be hot enough. You want to hear that noise. Chicken thigh, 5 to 6 minutes each side. Golden brown. Then flip. After that, take it out just like that. Toasted brioche bun, spicy mayonnaise, both sides. Pickles. That chicken. Top it. Yes.
Yo, this is how you make shrimp fried rice. Ooh. So you're gonna need your rice, onion, carrot, eggs, shrimp. Basically, it's 1-to-1 ratio with 1 rice and 1 of everything here. We're gonna start with a splash of oil, eggs, another one. Scramble that joint up. Put your egg to the side. A little bit more oil, 1/2 tablespoon of garlic, about 3 tablespoons of scallion. Ooh. That's what we call pagitum right here. 150 grains of shrimp. Once the shrimp is cooked about 80%, throw in your onion, 50 grains of carrot, season it with salt, pepper. Yo, anything is good with salt and pepper, but this is my secret. Butter. Throw in your bowl of rice, tablespoon of soy sauce on your rice, 1/2 tablespoon of sesame oil. Now break that joint up, baby. Put your eggs back right in. Woo.
How to make chicken parmesan. To bacon, slice, strips, bacon in, heat medium, and stir till crispy. Remove, chop till it looks like this. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 cloves of sliced garlic, 1 teaspoon red pepper flakes. Saute until fragrant of crushed tomatoes. Season to taste with salt, small pinch of sugar. Add your bacon back and stir. Simmer for 5 minutes. Chicken breast. Just cut, open it up. Little book. Plastic wrap. Pound and flatten it. 1/4 inch thick. All-purpose flour, 2 eggs, whiskey business. Your flour with salt. Mix together into the flour. Both sides, then into your egg. Both sides again. And go breadcrumbs. It looks like this. Bottom pan. Oil, about 1/2 inch. Heat medium high. And your chicken. 2 to 3 minutes. Flip. 2 to 3 more minutes. Drain. Season to taste with salt. 2 cups mozzarella. 1 cup Parmigiano Reggiano. Mix. Chicken. Sauce. Don't be shy. Cheese. Under the broiler. Oh yeah. Alright, and then. Ooh, sheesh.
Trust me when I say this is how you make a high-level steak. What better way to celebrate 1 million followers by showing you how I cook the best filet mignon ever? Now let's go! Temper 30 minutes, then lightly cover in oil. Rosemary salt! If you know, you know. Sergeant Gilbert reporting for duty. Finely ground. Now roll the edge. Bring your pan up to medium-high heat. Little avocado oil, and sear. Flip after about a minute. Stick with me. By the end of this video, you're gonna understand the technique. Now rest 2 minutes. Drop the heat of the pan to low, and add 5 tablespoons of butter. When the butter's starting to foam, put the steak back. Constantly baste. Every 30 seconds, turn the meat. Keep basting. When it hits about 90 internal, rest 5 minutes. Drop some crushed garlic in your butter. Heat back on, steak back in, and continue to baste. Drop in some thyme. When it hits 125 internal, blast the heat and baste for 1 minute. Now, one final 6-minute rest. Before we do the reveal, if you're getting value from this, please remember to like the post. And if you want to become a god in the kitchen, just hit that follow button. Woo! Oh my lord. You know I love you, and I'm out.
Getting a divorce in Korean culture is still pretty taboo, so I was a little worried about my parents' reaction when I finally filed. But I was pretty surprised. My mom told me that if he ever showed his face, she would beat the shit out of him, and my dad rose a glass to me over dinner and then tried to shake my hand in congratulations like I just announced a promotion. I'd always wondered how much it had hurt my dad when I came running to their house, crying and shaking after another grueling fight with my ex. But he never said anything, to the point I sometimes wondered whether he'd even noticed how much my heart was breaking. I always chalked it up to the comfortable aloofness he and I had developed. I don't think my dad has ever once said the words "I love you" to me in all 40+ years of my life. But every year on my birthday, he would send me a pretty pink card with flowers on it and write "I love you," followed by a note that always made me cry. The year I got my divorce, though, he wrote something a little different. "I love you. It's time to move on, isn't it?" And for some reason, the "isn't it" told me just how much my father had cried with me, even when I wasn't looking.
We're gonna make Chipotle rice. First you make a rice, and then you scoop it out, and then you add lime juice to cilantro. Then you add rice to that, and then you add salt to taste, and then you mix it up, and then you scoop it out. It's actually pretty easy.